11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Ngannou won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
Thanks to those joining me live and those that will be joining me on the archive. You listen to archive, hit the like button right now. 100 likes. That's a goal for every video. You guys have been doing phenomenal, by the way, and I appreciate it. DJ Mexicano de Tejas, Shanti Pearls, Kit Stirs, Demetrio, Shanti Pearls. On the round table, I said, AJ ain't losing this fight. You motherfuckers got to stop being scary. All right? Now we have to deal with all these delusional, stupid-ass MMA fans for months because of Tyson Fury, all right? And you got people actually believing and talking themselves into believing that Ngannou winning would be great and that would be amazing for boxing, and that's the way to all. He's got a big, thick neck. AJ can't knock him out. AJ's in trouble. AJ's gonna play it safe. Oh, I love underdog stories. I think I will like it if Ngannou wins, and this and that. A dude on a side project, okay, taking a boxing late, all right. Who in the last MMA fight was being outstruck and had to take a dude down. Somehow, a lot of you were believing he was going to give AJ all types of problems and possibly knock him out. And, oh, I think Ngannou could do it. No. Y'all were being a bunch of scary motherfuckers bracing for impact. What did you think was going to happen? And you know what, like, I catch little things. It's just little things, and they irk me, and it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? By the way, where are you MMA motherfuckers right now? The ones that were like, you see that one idiot that went on the stream and, yeah, I think all our strikers go over there and prove they're better. Shut up, stay over there. And you want to come to boxing, work your way up the ranks because something like this happens to you. Well, I think that... I will provide more of a challenge than Otto Wallen. Like, you can't even beat Otto Wallen. Are you kidding me right now, bro? Like, are you for real? When I said that Tyson Fury was in horrible shape, like, it's not like an illusion. Like, it's not like I was just making that shit up. You saw it. But this is the way you take care of these motherfuckers. You put them in the trash and dump it out back and teach them, you ain't on our level. You can't fuck with us. Get the fuck out of here. You don't play boxing or you get folded like a lawn chair with absolute ease. It was easy and I loved every second of it. No carrying him. No, this is my sport, motherfucker. Let me knock you the fuck out. Now go do your stupid MMA match with John Jones, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of this sport. But he's such a nice guy. Fuck that dude. I don't give a fuck. Let me be ruthless. I don't care if Ngannou's a nice guy and this, that, and the third. He was still being disrespectful to the sport. Thinking he could fuck with Anthony Joshua. Oh, yeah, I think it's an easy fight. Yes, I think it's easy. I think I knock him out. You guys, shut the fuck up. Kidding me right now? What are these MMA dudes? Like, y'all could have stopped showing up after the Fury fight? Where you at now? Where the fuck are you now? I can't wait to watch. I'm going to get some popcorn tonight, and I'm going to watch those streams, believe me. Oh, I'm going to love every second. You guys are going to find out why I'm fucking dragon style today. Are you kidding me right now? And by the way, the MMA fans are listening to my words. You boxing fans that were being scary as fuck. I was ashamed of a lot of you. Like, I don't know, man. I think Ngannou. I mean, I think he could do it. I think he has a shot. And you know what? I actually like it. I think it's a good underdog story. He's got a big, thick neck. Big, thick necks don't fucking matter when you're stiff as fuck in your target practice for fucking AJ. It was clear as day, like, dude. And there's more AJ could have done, but Ngannou couldn't take the fucking punches. He's got a weak chin. That's why. Oh, but these MMA guys take leg kicks and they get hit with elbows. And how could a big boxing glove knock them out? You just saw it, motherfuckers. Didn't you? Because it's the punches you don't see coming that hurt you. It doesn't matter if you have a big neck. It doesn't matter if you have all these muscles. It doesn't matter if you've been kicked in the head before. It doesn't matter if you've been in the ground and pound getting punched and that didn't knock you out. That doesn't matter. Punches you don't see coming, especially with a sharpshooter like AJ. It's a wrap, bro. That's the easiest fight AJ's had in years. Years. That construction worker gave him a better fight. And then when dudes like Ariel wanted, like, yo, who does AJ smoke, Eddie? Who does he smoke? Eddie, who does he smoke? Ngannou's who he fucking smoked. Smoked him with ease, bro. And Ngannou was like, he got back up and he's just trying to give a pep talk. Don't give up, my friend. Don't give up. That's an Indian accent. I don't know what the fuck. That's not a British accent. What the fuck? Anyway. Oh, but he's such a nice guy. Fuck that dude, bro. He was disrespecting Otto Wallin, bro. Like, well, that's Otto Wallin. That's not me. Well, what? Oh, you think you're better than Otto Wallin? You actually think? Oh, you're believing your stupid ass trainers like the Fist of Fury. Well, go ahead. It's gonna do all the damage. The Fire Fist of Ngannou is going to destroy AJ. Like, shut the fuck up. Well, where's the Fire Fist of Ngannou now, motherfucker? You know what happened? AJ lit a fire under his ass, motherfucker, knocked him the fuck out. Short work. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. That's how you do it. It works both ways. When James Toney's running his mouth and he went to the cage, Randy Couture took care of business. He took care of business. It's my sport, motherfucker. What you think you're doing? That's what AJ just did. The most ferocious puncher ever. And yeah, dudes like, oh, yeah, Ngannou, I mean, he has a touch of death. I mean, Ngannou could go in there and just smash these. He can't smash shit. He wasn't even the best. Dude, he was a... Are you kidding me right now? Are you right now? I know it does nothing for me. AJ's supposed to do that. That's my point. We shouldn't even be going through this detour of a fucking Fury. He took a big shit. It shows you what a terrible performance Fury had, by the way. What a horrible performance by Tyson Fury. Horrible. 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 Just terrible. He was a terrible fighter that night. Shout out to everybody watching on X. I got 354 people on X. I don't know where the hell that's coming from, but hey, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. What is it? Yo, I was seeing like MMA podcasters are really feeling themselves, like with bass on their voice and shit. Like, yeah. That Glenn guy, that French dude could beat up Otto Wallin, and you know, yeah, dudes saying that, oh, AJ has a weak chin. If dudes were actually saying, oh, if Andy Ruiz hurt him, just imagine what Ngannou's gonna do. Like, oh, you guys think Ngannou could fuck with Andy Ruiz in a boxing match? You actually believe that? No, the MMA dudes, we don't got time for them now. Like, are you kidding me? No more wasting time. And this, like, again, Floyd Mayweather carrying Conor McGregor, giving these guys a false sense of confidence, and then Tyson Fury, like this trash, bro. When you're fighting for, when you're fighting and it's your sport, you're also fighting for the honor of your sport. All right, that's what you're doing. You just pack this shit. Go back to him. Go back to the PFL, motherfucker. What are we doing? You kidding me? Go back to MMA and talk about how you could beat boxers in street fights and shit. Go over there. Go do that shit over there. Right? You don't belong in the boxing ring. I'm done, bro. This dude, let me let Calix in. This dude, all right? This dude was around like, yes, of course he looked good against Wallen, but I'm no Otto Wallen. Well, I know you're not an Otto Wallen, motherfucker. That was easy work, bro. Now that is how you take care of business. That's how you do it right there. That's how it's done right there. So, okay, I don't know, Calix. We had a lot of scary dudes out here. Like, oh, I think AJ could lose. I think that happened. I think, like, nah, bro. I'm just saying.
Hey, it was a good night at the Calix Boxing Street sports book. And we gave some good recommendations earlier in the week. AJ knockout and Parker decision, which ended up being a really good hit for me. I got kind of worried. I was sweating that one out, to be quite honest, because the two knockdowns, the 10-8 rounds. But what happened is exactly what we expected to happen, right? Is Zhilei Zhang's gas tank went on E, right? And that's exactly what happened. And Parker swept the second half. But what we saw tonight was, look, we're not trolling the MMA guys, because look, this is our neck of the woods, right? So this is a result that's expected.
Well, they were talking a lot of shit, Calix.
So they were, but it's okay.
Take their medicine.
No, I'm not. I don't have a problem with those guys, because they got a great sport over there.
Beef with them.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But my thing when I'm watching this, and I obviously bet AJ by knockout, but I doubled down on it as soon as the fight. And what were we texting back and forth? You tried to get me to play KO1, right? And I tried to get it in for you. I couldn't sneak it in for you before the fight happened.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. And you were close on that one had you bet it. But as soon as I saw Ngannou overreacting to every single AJ feint and jab, I knew I got to double and triple down on that bet because I said it right away in my head, D-Style. I cannot believe Fury got a gift decision against this guy.
It's disgraceful, bro.
It is disgraceful. And that's my issue. It's not with the MMA guys. You may have beef. I don't have any beef with those guys. Go enjoy your sport, and y'all try to come over here and win these fights and get paydays. And look, my recommendation to people, and Fight Ghost is out there as well. Fight Ghost on Twitter is saying, for paying off my mortgage and my car. Anytime you have one of these fights like this, you had it with Floyd against Conor. What you have is the MMA guys come and they drive down the line. It's a lot of square money. And you had, like D-Style, you had AJ minus 320 going into this fight. You had AJ plus money.
I thought the KO was.
You had AJ plus money on a KO. You had you had money line minus 320. That's absurd. It's absurd. I couldn't believe
the things I heard, bro. Like, look, I understand it because Fury never really came close to really hurting him, right? Mm-hmm. So I understood why people were thinking, "Oh, this guy, he's got such a big neck," and bro, big necks don't stop you from getting knocked out, bro. Like, where did that come from anyway? Like, what? Like, the reality is he hasn't fought a precise puncher like AJ in his life. Yeah. All those MMA, and I don't want to hear about small MMA gloves. The size of the glove has nothing to do with impact. In fact, you punch harder with a bigger glove because it protects your hand.
Bro, Fury needs to go into hiding.
Fury has a lot of explaining to do. Like,
I'm gonna tell you this,
D-Style. This is even more embarrassing for him.
But he can right some of these wrongs with a win against Usyk. But even then, after we said he still has work. After that last performance, we said it doesn't end there. He still would have some work to do, right? And realistically, they probably have a rematch clause after that, but he's going to have to fight AJ now. He's going to have to if he beats Usyk. And I don't know if he will or not. The triangle theory obviously doesn't work, right? But I'm telling you, watching AJ tonight, as soon as he comes out in Ngannou, you just saw it. You saw the amateurism there. He's overreacting to every
100%.
single thing that AJ did. I said it right away. I cannot believe Fury got a gift decision against this guy. That's embarrassing.
But I gotta go in on a lot of people, Cal. I know you said, "Oh, I have nothing against the MMA guys." I do. We have Shell Sonic coming out saying that the sport of boxing isn't a real sport and this and that. What do you got to say now, Shell? Anything you want to say, Shell? Hey, Shell, you want to go to the boxing gym and spar some of these dudes? Because you don't think it's a real sport? How about you do that, Shell Sonnen? All right. But oh, by the way, I forgot to add Chavez Jr. to the list. He's a disgrace too. He
Yeah,
lost
he
a
is.
weight fighter. Because you know why? Because he was high on coke. All right, it wasn't like it's disgraceful, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
When
And
you
then
do,
have Fury's brother. Speaking of the Furies, going life and death with two like YouTubers and Jake Paul and KSI. Life and death. Now I could excuse him a little bit because he's not like high level like Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is not a high level boxer, so I'm not going to put it that much. But I'm just adding to the Fury family. Okay, going life and death with a YouTuber like KSI when it comes to Tommy, and then you got Fury embarrassing the sport further, struggling with Ngannou, having these guys go on podcasts, Cal, like saying things like, "I don't even know if boxing is a real sport." I mean, this is insane, bro. Just like the YouTube, like the Twitter views right now. I don't know what's going on Twitter, but shout out to y'all.
yeah. So this is what when you do these fights, right? It should be an easy fight if you're a boxer. And this fell in. This is what we were talking about during the week. Is this ended up being like a treasure that falls into AJ's lap, right? Because he makes whatever they said he made, 50 million, something like that for this fight, which is absurd. And he gets to come in and clean up an easy mess to clean up. This was Fury's mess, and it's an easy mess to clean up, right? But he came in and he swept it right up easily.
It was like wiping baby pee from the floor.
This is an easy, huge payday. I don't think anybody's ever made an easier, huge payday than what Floyd Mayweather against Conor McGregor, right? But that's my point. Is when you do these fights, we need to stop this thing where guys either don't take them seriously on the boxing side or they carry them. And Floyd, it was a clear carry job on the Conor side, right? It was a clear carry job. And what it does, though, is for Floyd never worried about the health of the sport of boxing. A lot of our ills are due to some of the things he did in the sport of boxing. And he didn't worry about the after effects of what it would look like if he followed Conor McGregor, because everybody doesn't have the eyes to see that's what he's doing. He's fought, and everybody's seeing, oh, Conor McGregor's winning some early rounds, and this is a close fight, and it makes the sport of boxing look bad, right? And the same thing with Tyson Fury is when you have a guy come in off the street 0-0. I don't care what his background was in boxing. He's 0-0. And he fights the guy who many regard as the baddest man on the planet, which is a real title, right? Like, I mean, it's a mythical title, but it's a real thing in boxing. And when that guy comes off the street and you basically get a gift decision against him, you know, when I talk to the UFC fans, MMA fans, they're like, man, what an embarrassment to your sport that one of our guys can come over there and beat him.
Yeah, what do they think now, though?
And they may think that now, but I would warn boxing fans, don't go overboard with the flex. Overboard. Yeah, you can. but at the end of the day, flex, it is. But what you had tonight was a professional. AJ's a professional.
Of course.
And AJ now has the best resume in heavyweight boxing. I know he lost to Usyk twice. But Usyk doesn't have the overall decade-long resume. And what 100%. You have with AJ is now this resume. And this is what happens when you have a pro who prepares for a fight, and he doesn't have any intention of carrying a guy. And this is what happens when you have boxing versus MMA. And by the way, it would be the same thing if a boxer goes over to MMA. This is what it looks like.
Maybe. Ray Mercer knocked out one of their champions. So yes and no. But I will say this, okay? I will say this. The sport of boxing needs to start giving guys shortcuts just because they're trying to get a money grab, okay? Because shit like this happens. We shouldn't have to be doing this fight. Like this fight, it literally, AJ and Ngannou, before the debacle that before Tyson Fury put a big pile of shit in the middle of the ring,
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those like we didn't need to see it to know, right? But I will say this, Alex. A lot of people slowly over time have been losing respect for the sport of boxing, and now it's boxing's fault, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, and Hot
It's
Minute could
boxing's
attest.
fault.
But I will attest to this, and Hot Minute could attest to this. He had people saying things like oh, like Ngannou could go out there and just wipe out all your dudes like with no problem. He has too much punching power and too much like it wasn't necessary to go this far, and it's Tyson Fury's fault, obviously, but it was a good education for a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Because it is important, right, to remind people that you don't play this sport. It's not a side project, Francis.
Yeah.
You don't get to do this on the side and let me see if I can become heavyweight champion of the world, and then I'm gonna go to MMA. Like it's just that's not how it works.
Like a side hustle.
Yeah, like a little side hustle. Oh, let me just go pick up this boxing belt over here. Like, you know what I mean? AJ did what you're supposed to do. Francis Ngannou has been humbled after that experience. I honestly believe Ngannou really, especially after that performance against Fury, and I kind of feel bad for him to a certain degree. I think he really did believe he was going to win this fight.
It's hard for me to feel bad for a guy who's come up on
well,
quite a
obviously,
bag.
I'm talking specifically about where his emotions are,
Yeah.
and him being crushed as a competitive athlete. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he made a lot of money. Obviously, good for him. But you know what? Let's stop spending so much money on these freak shows, because that's a circus show, because that's what it is, right? And let's put that money into giving us more fights, like good fights. How many fights could they have made with those $20 million they paid Francis, allegedly?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fights, bro. How many dudes sub 126 pounds can you pay a good $500,000 payday to and make a bunch of great fights with that money?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let me read this before I let you cook again. Ander Rodriguez, one word to Joseph Parker. Activity brings success. Oh, man. Joseph Parker did his thing, bro. He did his thing.
He did his thing. Stayed in there. Though Zelly Zhang, my guy CCP, he's heavy-handed. And I'll tell you what, Joseph Parker took those shots and gave up some early rounds and stayed composed. And in that fourth round, for him to come back in that fourth round the way he did with those, I mean, he was just crisper, sharper, landing the same overhand rights that he landed against Deontay Wilder. And Joseph Parker's resume continues to look great. And once again, it goes back to Anthony Joshua. His resume continues to look stronger as a Joseph Parker continues to do what he does, right? So, I mean, it just goes to show you, though, the craziness of boxing, though, right? Because Joe Joyce does what he does to Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker does what he does in his last fight. So it just goes to show you the craziness of boxing, how he does that to Deontay Wilder, back-to-back upsets, because he was the betting odds underdog in this fight as well. So I enjoy these Saudi cards, though, I gotta say, because
I do gotta ask you a question, though.
Go ahead.
Did you really hope that Asia got knocked out? Like, is that really something you wanted to see happen, Alex?
This is where I'm at with boxing D-style. Obviously, for my bag today, I wasn't hoping that.
Okay.
Was heavy with, and by the way, judging again, the Nick Ball. I thought Nick Ball won that fight against Ray Vargas. I had him winning by 4 points. Close fight. I thought he clearly won it, though, and that messed me up quite a bag as far as a parlay, because I parlayed Nick Ball and Joseph Parker.
I know he was very negative, but he could make an argument for some of those rounds.
It's hard for me to get. Like, I don't see a pathway to give Ray Vargas to victory. Decision is
we have to make a top 10 pound for pound most boring / negative fighters in boxing.
Ray Vargas can disappear another 13 months. I want to see Nick Ball in some action fights. So, title or not, I don't care who has the title. I don't care to see Ray Vargas much more. But as far as that goes, the reason I say stuff like that, I speak out of frustration because I see the moves in boxing. And this is why this boxing versus MMA thing is sort of a mirage, because MMA, back then was filling a vacuum, right? And now it's completely taken over a sustainable sport. And some people even say it's the fourth major sport now in America.
I
It's
wouldn't go
some
that
people
far,
say
but
it's some people are saying it's supplanting, taking over NHL, but it's top 5 now in America. And boxing is far behind. And this is where the boxing fans are not going to be happy with me, but we need to hear it, right? Is people get mad, boxing people get mad at fights like this, and then Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson and say these are circus acts, but these are just filling a vacuum that's been left out there by boxers who continue to drop the ball by fighting once, maybe twice per year. Once these guys sign fights, it's like we almost feel like we got to drag Ryan Garcia into the ring on April 20th. Even when
right.
these guys sign fights, it still feels like we got to get him there. Just look at freaking Fury versus Usyk. How many times should we had that fight? And we got to do it again, another date, May 18th. And on top of this, D-Style, you know, we have 5 pay-per-views in the next 11 weekends, counting this one in boxing. And that's not counting Terrence Crawford supposed to be signing something with Chris Eubank Jr. I don't know if that's going to be a pay-per-view. Then you're going to have Benavidez and Tank Davis pay-per-view. You're going to have 8 pay-per-views in one quarter, likely. In one quarter. One quarter. Boxing is doing it to itself. We don't need to be pointing a finger at the MMA guys, UFC guys. Boxing is shooting itself in the foot.
But let me just stop.
And the reason, but that's the reason I bring it up is you're asking me like, why does sometimes I speak out of frustration?
I need to put a pause. We're going to criticize boxing has a lot of criticism. We're going to tackle it all angles, but this is a day to celebrate. Like and I'll tell you why. Like what AJ he just shut up a lot of arrogant motherfuckers that want to see the sport of boxing die. Okay, and it's just true, right? And that's just how I feel about it. And I see the MMA podcast. All the motherfuckers were shut the fuck up today. Okay?
And that might be the difference. Is I don't.
But let me finish this point. When an MMA fighter is out here believing that he's a bigger threat than Otto Wallen, he actually like. I know he doesn't mean it as disrespectful, but it's disrespectful, right? Like I know that when Ariel Helwani says when Eddie Hearn told him 6 rounds or less, AJ beats him. Oh, that's disrespectful. I mean, really? Who does AJ smoke? He doesn't smoke anybody. Like when he talks like that, right? Well, he just smoked your dude. Like it is important for the sport of boxing to show people that no, you can't just come to the sport and do it like that. That was very important. Because we had a large portion of the population, Calix, that believe that these MMA guys are at equal level with the boxers when it comes to striking. And they're not. I'm talking from an educational standpoint, and the ignorance plus arrogance of a lot of those MMA fans. They needed this education. They needed this medicine. Because guess what? And they had a lot of reasons to get arrogant. Paulie Malignaggi losing bare knuckle matches to an upside down record MMA.
That's like the last person you want.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. And then Chavez Jr. is high and not training. He loses to an old Anderson Silva in a boxing match. And then Tyson Fury comes in a horrible shape and telling the whole world this is the most dangerous fight of his life.
But you're kind of proving my point, though. D-Style is like, don't they have arguments? Like, don't they have a reason to brag over there?
Here's the problem, Calix. Here's the problem. All the boxers that are not doing these clown shows, like I'm talking about the O'Shaquie Fosters, AJ's one of them, obviously. All the Canelos of the world, the Chocolatitos of the world, the Gallo Estradas of the world, the Katie Taters of the world, whoever, right? All these great fighters that are doing everything, they're great ambassadors for the sport, right? Are becoming victims of this ignorance of the public. Like you had people thinking that like Conor McGregor could beat Floyd Mayweather, bro. Like people, they were doing polls on Fox Sports, and they legitimately believe that. Celebrities were like Nelly were saying things like, "Oh, I don't know if Floyd could even hurt him." I mean, those big ass boxing gloves, I don't think could hurt an MMA fighter because they take leg kicks to the head, and like I just think from the standpoint of people like realizing, like, holy shit. AJ is like not only better than Ngannou, he's like miles apart from Ngannou when it comes to boxing. He can't fuck like Ngannou could train for the rest of his life. He'll never catch up to AJ. Right? I think that's an education people needed.
Yeah,
That's a medicine people needed. They needed it.
yeah, but isn't it sad that AJ had to come out and play Captain Save-A-Ho tonight?
Of course.
And that's
But he
exactly
did
my
it.
point is, look,
It's kind of like when the big brother beats up the abusive boyfriend. Like, it's kind of sad that you stuck around, bitch, and getting beat up by the boyfriend and shit, and then your brother had to come beat the dude up, right? And that's what it was. But we still gotta praise the brother for beating up the abusive boyfriend, though.
do we? Like, I mean, is this a big
Yeah, what do you mean? Like you're not gonna praise the brother for like hey, you're not gonna leave him, so I'm gonna go beat the shit out of him.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make fun of the dude who is responsible for it. The dudes who are responsible for it. Your title here is
Okay.
Mayweather and Fury are embarrassing, right? For the sport. And when it comes to this, and you're right. And that's when this happened, my first response was AJ cleaned up Fury's mess. That's my response. My response was not, and I understand why we come at it from different point of views because I'm not looking at the MMA podcast. When I have these conversations with my brother, I mean, we don't get into it with stuff like that. He's a UFC fan. And a lot of guys in my neighborhood are UFC fans, and I heard it from him. But my response to that now is different than it would have been a decade ago. I see the mess in boxing, and I say we're responsible for this. We're responsible. Tyson Fury is responsible for this mess.
100%.
I'm not going to waste my time going at the MMA guys because Tyson Fury, you're responsible for this. Dude, you're embarrassing. You shouldn't even be there. You should be hiding somewhere. You should be in camp or hiding somewhere. You shouldn't even be
No, but
there.
here's the thing, Calix. Like, here's the thing. Of course, Fury is a Trojan horse, right? And so is Chavez Jr. and Mayweather that let this shit in, right? All right, but the invaders inside the Trojan horse still came out and started burning the place, right? And then AJ came out and he took care of business. We got, like, that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? He's like, what's going on?
I understand. Now? I understand you want to spike the ball. I get it. I'm with you. Like, take that L. Look at your guy fall and almost break his leg, right? It's fun.
It doesn't like,
but it doesn't do anything for me.
It to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, it put an end to all this shit. Remember how we were talking after the Fury fight? Oh, here we go. Now we're gonna have to put everything on pause to see the MMA guys fight. The boxers. We're gonna have to wait for that. No, we don't have to do that anymore. You know what Dana's gonna say to his dudes now? No, you ain't doing that. What do you mean? You want to go fight Tank? No, like, you're gonna stay right here. Okay, you go armbar that dude over there. You can't armbar Tank in a fucking ring. Okay. You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure he'll take. And by the way, Ryan Garcia talking about going MMA and knocking. You're not gonna knock anybody out in the octagon, bro. Like, what are you doing? Enough. I'm done with the crossover shit. I'm just done with it. I believe this damaged it. I think AJ did us a favor here. I'm British today, bro. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm British today.
Don't think that, though, because it's not going away. It's not, especially in the market we're in. D-Style, I'm telling you.
Look at what just happened.
I'm gonna tell you what happened today, and this is a true story, 100% facts. This is on God. Okay, I wouldn't lie about this. My wife comes home from work, and she says, Jake Paul's going to fight Mike Tyson. Is that really happening? And I said, yeah, it's happening. And yeah, she's like, when does that happen? I was like, in the summer. And my wife, for D-Style, understand this, for the people watching, my wife hates boxing. She hates it. And the only, there are now 2 fights since we've been together, 12 years. There's 2 fights she's asked to watch. Mayweather Pacquiao, obviously she fell asleep in that one. But this one right here, she asked me, she's like, we need to watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, I don't know anything about it.
Are you going to go to Dallas?
No, I'm not going. I'm not interested in it at all. It's not my thing. You know that. But Netflix, no pay-per-view. Jake Paul just fought. And 4 days later, he announces his next fight. And this is what I'm saying, is boxers have no reason to complain. Like, the boxers are the ones frustrating me. Look at the pay-per-views that are announced, D-Style. And I'm going to go off on a tangent, but forgive me. Tank versus Frank. And got boxing writers saying, you boxing fans, you don't appreciate anything. It's top 10 matches. Yeah, but there are like 5 fights I would have seen before that one, rather see. Canelo versus Munguia. Obviously, I love that fight, but guess what? There was a better one on the table. And then on top of that, we got Tim Tszyu, Keith Thurman. They're not even promoting that one. They charge you for that one. And you got all these fights being announced, and none of them are the fight. And that's my point, is constant marination. It constantly feels like you got to drag these guys to the ring. So I'm not going to sit here and blame the MMA guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm over here kicking these dudes while they're down, right? And Calix is picking them up, dusting them off, and saying, they had nothing to do with it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can kick them. I'm not going to stop you from kicking them.
Motherfucker. Like that's, I'm going to stomp on them.
You kick them. That's fine. And I'll watch. It's fine. I'll take enjoyment in watching you. But what I'm saying is you need to be kicking some other people that are responsible for this vacuum.
I'll kick his ass too, bro. Like, let's go.
There are a lot of people you need to be kicking that are responsible for this vacuum that has been filled by the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson crew. And I'm tired of these whiny boxing, right? Oh my God, this is destroying boxing. Dude, boxing is destroying boxing in America. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, well,
so do we get a W today? We enjoy it. We spike the football. We make fun of the MMA guys with their tight Speedos rolling around in the ring, wrestling each other.
I'll tell you what it is, Calix. Like you know the movie Troy, like when Hector thinks he killed Achilles, right? But he killed a cousin. You know what I mean? And you remember what Achilles tells Hector? He was like offended that motherfucker thought he beat him. Yeah. Right? Oh, you think you killed Achilles? Like he was more offended of that than he killed his cousin, bro. It was like what, you thought you killed me? You know what I'm gonna do to you? And I'm paraphrasing at this point, but I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna take out your tongue and take out your eyeballs. I'm gonna drag you. You're gonna end up in the underworld, and you're gonna be wandering blind and stupid. And people are gonna point at you and say, "Look, that's Hector, the fool that thought he killed Achilles." Well, Ngannou, nice guy. I hate to do this to the guy. He's such a nice guy. He wears such nice garbs and everything. Such a nice dude. But you're going to be wandering in the underworld, brother. They're going to point at you and they're going to say, look, that's Ngannou, the fool that thought he was going to knock out Anthony Joshua, the fool that thought he was going to shock the world. And there's going to be this celebration. Right now, D-Styles going to be losing his mind and saying, what the fuck's up with these bums? Can't beat a fucking MMA fighter. What's going on? But I was going to go off. Let me tell you something. If they can't beat an MMA fighter, there's no reason for the sport to even exist, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming with it. And I don't want, I honestly believe this. You may disagree. This has put an ugly dent on crossover fights. I'm not talking YouTuber fights. So. YouTubers are fighting low-level guys, bro. I'm talking about crossover fights. That whole Mayweather McGregor experiment, Tyson Fury and Ngannou, that it's done, bro. It's done. It's finished. So. We're not going to see another big.
I think you're naive.
In a while.
I think you're naive. I think it's going to ramp. I think it's going to ramp right
when
up.
When Ngannou went down, all of MMA went down with him. They like it down there anyway. Go work on your ground game while you're down there, okay? Y'all go down, okay? I don't give a fuck. Go work on your arm bars while you're down there, motherfuckers. All right?
Go work on your rear naked.
Esto es boxeo. This is boxing. All right? I'm going to be petty as fuck.
Go work on your rear naked chokeholds.
The reason I could be petty, because after Fury, I did my live. I'm sure you saw it. After Fury shit the bed. What did I say? Hey, MMA fans have every right to say whatever the fuck they want. And they did. And they went overboard. I gave them an inch and it took a fucking mile, bro. You know what I mean? So now I'm paying it back in blood, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Dose. These rants aren't over. Okay? I'm just saying.
By the way,
go back to MMA and talk about you could beat up, have your fantasies about you could beat up boxers in street fights and all. Go over there and do it because you can't win in the boxing ring, motherfuckers. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, well, true. And we'll get back to that in a minute. But I want to say this: the pacing on these Saudi cards need to get better. My God, man, you can't have 45 to 50 minutes. No, they need to realize none of us want to hear these dudes talk. None of us. None of us want to hear these dudes talk. Like, you
like
got
the
this
sound of their
surplus.
voice?
You got this surplus of dudes now with they wear, and it's not just boxing, it's every sport. They wear their suits and their casual suits with their all white tennis shoes, and they're just talking and talking and talking. It's like, for the love of God, dude, can we get to the fight? That's what Dana gets right. Dana has talked about this. I don't want to be pro MMA here. I don't even like MMA. But I'm
Dana's
just telling
against the
you,
crossover fights. He's against them.
he is. But I'm just talking about the pacing of fights. Why in the hell do we have 1 million people in the ring, and then it takes them forever to walk to the ring, and then we got to do 27 national anthems, and then we got to do 50 freaking talking heads talk about fights, and then pre-recorded segments of people like, this guy's family died and he's trying to avenge the loss of his family. Like, for the love of God, dude, just get to the fight. This gets the fight. When I watched UFC Mexico with my brother 2 weeks ago, I saw like 8 fights in 2 hours. Dude, this was 8 fights.
Quick. Yeah.
This was 8 fights in like 10 hours, 11 hours. How is it that the card starts in the morning, and by the time the co-main starts, it's nighttime where I live? What is going on? Get the pace going.
They need to work on the pace 100%. I don't understand why they're dragging it out, and I don't know. My guess is they're hoping to get more buys, but bro, whoever's gonna watch it, people decide they're gonna buy it. Like, they're not gonna decide like, oh, it's still on after 10 hours. Okay, I'll buy it. Like, no, it's like, no, right? But look, I want to talk about Joseph Parker really quick. Let me tell you something about this dude, bro. You cannot count out Joseph Parker in any fight.
No.
I'm not going to favor him against every heavyweight, but you can't count him out. You just can't. I'll be honest with you. When he was knocked down, what was it, the third? When he was knocked down and I saw the nose busted, I said, "Oh, I don't think Parker's going to make the distance." I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to get out of the 6th round, right? But I got a little bit of confidence again when he got past that 6th round and he was almost cruising. And even when he got knocked down in the 8th, I don't feel he was that hurt. And he got back up and kept doing his things. And then in the round afterwards, I was okay with it. Joseph Parker did his thing. I think you could argue the fight either way. A draw would have been okay too. But I still think the right man won. I do think Parker won that fight, in my opinion, slightly. But I was worried. The 2 knockdowns.
I was so worried in the 3rd round that I actually hedged a little bit with the Zhilei Zhang knockout play, and then 4th round, it was such. That's the reason I was going to point out that I like the Saudi cards. Is what happens with the Saudi cards is you look at the 5-6 fights on the televised card, the main card, they're all 4-1 odds or less. So what you have is you have these crazy swings, and I love playing the live betting odds in these fights because you can get some good value. Is you have these crazy swings. You had crazy swings in the Ray Vargas fight where one guy goes, Ray Vargas is a -700 favorite, and then it flips to Ball being a -500 favorite, and then it's even odds going into the 12th round. You had the same thing with Parker versus Zhang, because by the 4th and 5th round, I see Parker, I think it was Parker after the 4th round, flips to +700, +650, +650 money line. So I jumped right on that and got more with it. Is, you get good plays with these cards. I just don't like the pacing of it. And obviously tired of the pay-per-views in boxing, but to your point, this is obviously a good day for boxing, but for me, it's what it is I know you're gonna do your petty thing, and more power to you. It's good, but for me, it's just us not. What we did tonight was we just didn't score another on goal. That's what the Fury thing felt like to me. Is we scored an on goal, we embarrassed ourselves.
Let me ask you a serious question.
I don't get any satisfaction out of this. As I don't see this as a big blow to the MMA guys. I think they're just going to go on with their lives, and then I think there's going to be more of this.
No. I'm not saying it's a blow to them, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the arrogance was out of control. Like, they needed a humbling. Like, they just did, right? Of course, Fury gassed them up. Of course, I get that. You know what I mean? But like in a sport where Jake Paul was doing better against MMA fighters than the heavyweight champion of the world, of course, right? But they needed this humbling experience. They need to understand that you got to go Just go back to your own sport, bro. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Like
It's
you're a great MMA fighter, but go over there.
You know what it's
That's
like?
all.
It's like when I play driveway basketball 1-on-1 against my son, who's 9. And one time, you just let him win, and then he starts going overboard. He starts bragging to his mom, your wife, and
But we got to put things in
he's
perspective,
feeling
Kelly.
himself, right? And then
Yeah.
I gotta go dunk on him. I gotta go win 20-0
shit.
the next time, and
You
that's what
dunked
AJ
on your
did.
own son?
you gotta take the kid down in a couple notches,
Holy
right? Like,
shit, bro.
dude, you're not the
Kelly's
dude
out
of the
here
house.
dunking on his son. How's
He's
your
walking
son?
around. He takes his shirt off like he's the man of the house because he won a game that'll let him win. So you got to dunk on him. Give him the 20. Give him a 20. Give him a quick 20-0. Dunk on him, and take him back down a couple notches, right? And that's what happened tonight. That's what happened tonight, right? Is AJ beat Ngannou 20-0 in a driveway basketball game because
Oh, my God.
Ngannou won a game that the guy didn't even prepare for. Like Tyson Fury just walked up off the street.
But let's be serious for a moment, or try to. Despite the fact that Fury came out of shape, right? Despite the fact that Ngannou just got shredded, like despite all that, what AJ just did to Ngannou proves how big of a monumental upset that was, right?
Yeah. Or almost.
Do you think, of course, monumental performance? Would you put that up there with like the Miracle on Ice? No, for real. Like I'm not even joking. Would you put that up there like with the all-time great upsets, like ever?
Well, the problem is he didn't get the official upset. That's
okay, performances.
I don't know. It's just hard, man. The problem that I have is a lot of these fighters, like a Tyson Fury, he's so up and down, and he's such an embarrassment at times that I don't even hold him as high in a high esteem as a Soviet Union hockey team, right? Of that year. What was that? 1980?
Maybe they took the guys lightly. Maybe
and then the same thing with Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. It didn't feel like that to me. I don't know. Maybe boxing just isn't where
you had to
it
win.
was.
You're saying like you have to win the fight in order to.
Yeah, I think you have to win, and I don't know.
I still can't believe Fury never found a nice clean counter on this guy the whole fucking fight. Like it was one of the most bizarre.
It's the weirdest thing, right?
I still can't explain it.
And like the kid said it on Twitter, miss me with the triangle theory thing. Miss me with that. Because you're talking about a guy coming off the street 0-0. Miss me with the triangle theory thing. It's Tyson Fury walks out there, training, no training. You can't figure out counters against this guy. All AJ did was jab upstairs, jab downstairs, jab upstairs, jab downstairs, sprinkle in a right hand, and use some feints. And you saw every time AJ did something, Ngannou just overreacted to everything. And I'm watching
100%.
this, and like I said, I go to the live betting odds and I double down. But I'm thinking in my head, how in the hell did Fury get a gift decision against this guy? How did it come to that? How do you lose 4 to 6 rounds against this guy?
I'm about to say that. I can't even believe it's going to come out of my mouth, Alex. Like, I actually edged it to Fury, but I shouldn't even be having this conversation about who won and like you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing is stupid. Like, that's crazy. He had this dude believing that he had a shot against AJ because he'll have something in return when Otto Wallin didn't. Like,
he really thought he was going to win that fight. And AJ just had a treasure fall in his lap because he gets paid whatever he got paid, whatever they're saying he got paid, 50 million, something like that, to go for 4 minutes of work. And he didn't even get hit for 4 minutes of work. And he's got to be thinking, they got to be watching film. They got to be thinking, I'm sure they're telling him, look, be careful with this guy. Don't get careless because he's got a right hand, all that stuff. But they got to be thinking, man, if you just train for the fight, show up, use your jab, it's an easy night. It's an easy payday. Good
100%.
Lord, man. I can't believe AJ. I cannot believe Tyson Fury almost lost it. It's unreal.
Like, you know what? Like, let's say Ngannou would have had a great performance against AJ, then I would have to be like, well, I guess Ngannou's just that good. But We just saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, like, to make matters worse, Calix, like, he had experience already in the boxing ring when he fought AJ, and he wasn't as rusty. He was out of the ring for 2 years. He was out of competition for 2 years when he fought Fury.
It's unreal.
like he got a better crack at him, bro. Like Salido, he had the better crack at Loma because he got him in the second fight.
Uh-huh.
I felt bad for the guys that got him in his 10th fight. You know what I mean? Because he was like, he had the experience. Like, he had first crack at this dude. The guy was like saying, like, I wasn't even sure if I could go 10 rounds. Like, I wasn't even sure. Like, now he knew he could go 10, and now he had confidence. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Shout out to Andre Rodriguez. A little mention to the young Judas Hooney that struggled to beat the well-rounded Lerena that just lost his mother a few days ago. Man, rest in peace.
Those are tough ones to win because a guy is obviously fighting above himself, right?
Yeah,
And that's another fight. It was just a really good card. And this is what happens when you
that's the
put
Buster
together.
Douglas effect. You know what I mean? Like, that's
This is what happens when you put together a card that's close in betting odds. And this is one thing that the Saudis do right is they put together well-rounded cards.
yeah.
And it's a bettor's dream. It really is that you can find good value in live betting odds with cards like this. I enjoy betting these cards. But to me, the story of the night is Tyson Fury. That's the story of the night. Just how much of an embarrassment he is right now. And the Tyson Fury fans aren't going to like that. And look, he's got an undisputed fight coming up. But people were tough on me for my reaction to Tyson Fury getting cut in camp. What was it, 9 days before the fight? Well, however long it was, right? And they're saying, look, cuts happen and stuff like this. Look, how often do cuts happen a week and a half before a fight, 2 weeks out? I understand the guy's still in sparring, but with Tyson Fury, he's one of those guys.
You don't believe
it just feels like you got to drag to the ring. No, I never felt like this was some sort of conspiracy theory. Like guys were saying he raised it himself. I never felt that. I felt like it was a legit cut. But the problem is, with a guy like that, you got to make sure you do everything in your power, cage mask, anything to make sure this guy gets to the ring, because it just feels like you have to use everything in your power to get him there.
This is
and
beautiful.
The problem that we're having in boxing is we're our own worst enemy, right? Anytime a guy does something good in the ring, they squander the momentum, right? It's like the Bud Crawford effect right now. Bud Crawford puts on a great performance, and what's he going to do? Fight Chris Eubank Jr. next? Like, really? I mean, it's kind of a mid-fight. It just feels like these guys, I don't know, are leaving a huge vacuum.
It'll make a lot of money in the UK, though.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, I guess.
I agree with you. I don't like the fight either, but if he fights at 160, at least he could justify a Canelo bout, maybe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Hey, but Calix, I know you said the story of the night is Fury. First of all, why is Fury like? He's kind of like. I wanted him to struggle too, I want the petty mother. And let me say this.
Do you see the problem though? The problem is if he wins the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world in May, he's still the guy that got a gift decision against Ngannou. So you have the undisputed champion of the world who got a gift decision against a guy who was 0-0. That's the problem. Is it doesn't just end with you winning the undisputed championship. You have unfinished business against Ngannou, and then AJ comes right in and cleans that up. So now AJ seems to be
it was
the
like
guy.
This, Calix, like he made a big mess in the aisle, right? And I said, clean up on aisle 6, and he just showed up with the mop, bro. But by the way, just to make matters worse for Fury, did you see how AJ wasn't even like, I knocked him out. Like he was just walking around like, all right, like. Bro, he was just strolling like usually AJ, like he gets pumped up after he knocks the guy out because obviously, like I think like with Hellenius, he was kind of getting a little frustrated. Like Helenius was hitting him with the jab. It was getting to him a little bit. And when he finally hit him, it was kind of like, finally got you, motherfucker, right? And then he hadn't gotten a knockout for a while, so it was kind of bothering him a little bit. And then, and even in his last fight with Wallen, you could see he was kind of like happy with himself. This time he was just, I don't know. That could be in AJ's head, but I could just imagine like him walking there and being like, how the fuck Fury struggle with this motherfucker? Like what? Like what? That dude gave you problems? Like what?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? You know what I mean? Shout out to Slight Tendency. Fury haters eat corn the long way. Damn. Shit.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to you, brother.
Well played. But this is what we got with.
Oh, come on. Hold on. Stop acting like AJ didn't use Fury's footage to line up the right hand. He didn't just wake up Sleep Francis, boxing fan. So we're going to give AJ Fury credit.
I love it. I like it. Shout out to
Oh,
Slight
so Fury's responsible for AJ's win.
He gave him the assist. He gave him the assist.
Hey, it's cool. So they double teamed Francis. It was unfair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have footage on him. The result is bad for both Ngannou and Usyk. Francis is diminished just as much as the Fury fight enhanced him. Usyk is in trouble with a motivated Fury. Damn! Shout out to Nando Llamas. By the way, Calix.
Yeah.
If Usyk wins against Fury, which I think is a real possibility, can you get up for a third AJ Usyk fight?
Yeah, I can. Because I thought AJ did better in the second fight. We talked about that, I think, right after that fight. I actually thought AJ looked pretty good in that fight. I thought he looked improved. But I thought clearly Usyk won both fights.
By the way, we need one more viewer. Thank you on X. Thank you. Too many sixes there.
Oh no, 6. We can't have 666. But look, the thing Nando hits on something important there is with Fury, he's such a wild card, right? We talked about that with several fighters now. Fury's one of them. They fight up and down to the level of competition. Teofimo's the other one. Those guys are so up and down. Fury is such an up and down fighter to his level of competition that you could see him. I would not put it past Tyson Fury to lay an egg against Ngannou the way he did and then come out and win the undisputed championship of the world against Alexander Usyk. I would not put all these guys that are super confident that Usyk's going to win this fight against Fury. You may be right, but I think the wrong thing to do is to assume that that's going to happen based off of the Ngannou performance, because we've seen this from Fury in the past. Yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty. But he's right. Nando's right. Is you get these fights where it's almost like a trap fight, right? And I don't want to call Fury a trap fight, but this happens in college football all the time. I bet college football. You'll see a team lay an egg, just look completely bad on a Saturday, and then next Saturday they look great. They're just so up and down, and that's what you have. You don't want to play a team like that.
Struggle like don't get by UTEP. You're like, they struggle with UTEP.
You don't want to
beat Texas A&M the next week. You know,
you don't want to play that motivated team. You don't want to go up against that motivated. So this fell well in Anthony Joshua's lap, as we talked about. This was a gift to him. But for Usyk, it becomes a little more difficult because Fury is feeling embarrassed right now. And Fury's fans are feeling embarrassed right now. Like they'll lie about it, but they are. But that motivates them to win this fight in May because they know they need it.
Look, I just feel like I want to be fair to everybody right now, okay? Let me drop being petty for a second, all right? I think the MMA guys should stick to MMA. Boxers, stay away from the octagon. I think the MMA dude needs to stay away from the boxing ring, all right? Stick to your own sport. MMA, you're doing your thing over there. Keep doing your thing. I think Ngannou versus John Jones is still a massive fight. I think they could. I'll watch it. Right? Go do your thing over there. Go play with your arm bars and your leg locks and go-go platas and triangle chokes and all that other stuff. The kicking and screaming.
Rear naked triangle choke.
Yeah, all that kicking and screaming and running on cages and all that good stuff. Go slamming and all that. Go have fun with that. Okay.
You hating bad. You hating bad now.
Well, isn't that what they do? Don't they do all those things?
Yeah,
and then they say that's why it's better than boxing. The knees and the elbows and all that stuff, right? And just leave us alone over here with our Marcus of Queensberry. Okay,
it's not gonna happen.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
It's not gonna happen.
I just don't think those fights are gonna sell like that anymore. I don't.
Look, I don't even know what this is gonna sell, and that's the thing with the Saudis is it doesn't really matter, right? They just seem to be throwing around money. I think this guy over there, Turkey Al-Sheikh, I think there's just like an expensive hobby to him.
Do you think that they'll try to throw Francis in there like with the mid-level dude to see how he does, or
they're not going to pay him that type of money anymore? I don't know. I
yeah, for sure.
He might just cash this out. Brother.
Appreciate
but it. Look at AJ's resume now. Is Dillian White, who was undefeated. Charles Martin was undefeated. Brazil was undefeated. Vladimir Klitschko. Joseph Parker, who was undefeated at the time. Alexander Povetkin. And obviously he lost that first fight to Andy Ruiz, but he came back and avenged it. And Pulev, and then Otto Wallen and Ngannou. But and then he's fought 4 times the past 11 months. So he's putting together something nicely here. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
his career is starting to age like fine wine.
Like fine wine, you know what I mean? Before we go, I want to thank everyone tuning in. I've never in my life seen 715 viewers. We got Coach Malachi numbers right now. That's from Twitter mostly. So shout out to you guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, D-Style Boxing here on YouTube, and subscribe to Calix Boxing on YouTube as well. Sunday, Oscar Valdez will be joining us, so make sure you guys tune in for that. I know you guys love all the drama. You like it when D-Style goes in on MMA fans and all this stuff, but you could tune in when we interview these boxers too. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And I think that should be fun. We already had Liam Wilson on. Check that interview out.
That's gonna be a hell of a fight.
And I'm gonna let Calix have the final word here. Go ahead, Calix.
I'll let you be petty. I'll watch you beat down the MMA guys.
Look, he's a good cop. I'm the bad cop. It is what it is.
I'll watch you beat down the guys in their Speedos doing their rear naked.
I'm like in casino, like I'm like with a bat, boom! I kneecapped them and shit, and I'm smiling, and I'm boom.
They're just rolling around enjoying their lives in their Speedos, and you want to come just hit them
these dudes
over the head.
Like you expect me to believe. You expect me to believe that these dudes, that box with their little gloves and their bicycle shorts, barefoot, are gonna fuck with boxers, professional prize fighters in a boxing ring. No. I'm sorry.
Is this something to brag about, though? I mean, come on. Like, we didn't score an on goal again today.
I'm just saying, bro.
That's all. It was nice to see a boxer take it seriously, the consummate professional, just come in and say, we're not carrying anybody today. We're just going to knock this guy. We're going to dribble this guy's head into the 17th row. It's beautiful to watch, right? So that's good. But to me, the story of the night is great card, by the way. I enjoyed the hell out of the card. And this is what happens when you put together a good card full of even matchups. This is good matchups of just even matchups that could go either way, right? And we saw ebbs and flows in these fights. I enjoyed this card. Once again, these Saudi cards I've enjoyed. They've done a good job with them. Besides the pacing. The pacing has been terrible. For the love of God, please get to these fights earlier.
Okay, I got to apologize to Mike Tyson. I tagged the wrong Tyson when I called him a disgrace to the sport. That was from Tyson Fury. I apologize, Iron Mike. Go ahead.
Don't mess us up over here with Mike Tyson. But we don't want to make him mad. But the story of the night to me is AJ cleaned up Fury's mess. Fury embarrassed the sport as if the sport's not embarrassing itself. But Fury messed it up, and AJ came and played Captain Save-A-Ho tonight and saved us some more embarrassment tonight. But that was a hell of a knockout. I enjoyed it.
Man, That was something, wasn't it? This, and by the way, no se puede jugar boxeo. You don't play boxing. Okay,
Yeah.
simple as that. Hey, this is D Style Boxing. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. See you guys Sunday. Peace.
Peace. God bless.